Good day, everybody. I am bringing you kind of a alternative video today, one that brings in multiple aspects of my life. Because before this past week, when I became a full-time YouTuber, I was a software engineer, and I worked a lot on the front end. For those of you who don't know what that means, the software world is pretty much broken up into two categories, front end and back end. Front end being like the website you look at, and back end being essentially how everything runs in the servers you're not seeing, how the data is driven. And as someone with this level of experience, I was shocked, floored, flabbergasted, other words, when I started aggressively using Goodreads. For those of you who don't know, Goodreads is a website owned by freaking Amazon to help you keep track of what you're reading and follow other people. It's social media of reading. It's pretty straightforward. And it's one of the worst designed websites I've ever seen. First of all, there's a well-known thing in software development that you want to train people to use your website as smoothly and easily as possible. It should be intuitive. And for some reason, I'm not going to go over their phone app, but for some reason, Goodreads has decided that their mobile application and their running website are going to basically be extraordinarily different, which in terms of like the software world, that's one of the biggest just whys I've ever seen for a major website. And before we get any further in this video, I really enjoy Goodreads' purpose, and I think it has a great mentality behind it. What they're trying to do is great, and this video is being made with criticism out of love. I want them to improve. This is my love letter to please make the UI for Goodreads substantially better. Bring me on board. I will give consulting advice, I swear. So yes, in software development, when you're making a website, you want to make it the same or as similar as possible between phone and tablet and, computer, because that way you don't have to retrain your audience again and again. A great example of this, one of the best out there, is Twitter. Whether I open Twitter on my iPhone or I use it on my Mac or a tablet, it's essentially just the same screen, either folded over so I have to bring out the menus and shuffle what's on top, or just slightly laid out wider. Brilliantly done. Twitter has a great UI. Goodreads is the opposite of that. So right away, in today's modern development, it's expected that you should be able to shrink your website pretty small and have it still function. I think the number out there is like 325 to 375 pixels, and it should still look all right. I am now unable to use the website efficiently because I need to scroll sideways. Instead of having things fold over, now there's another whole axis of scrolling I need to worry about, which is not good website development. It should never require me to go sideways, keep shrinking it in so I just scroll down, or squish what's on the screen efficiently. That's the modern trends, and they're just not doing that here. I've brought up my Twitter here to show you a good example. As I shrink in my screen, things disappear from the screen. I don't go sideways. They're just gone now because either that feature is not necessary enough to be on the screen, or, you can bring it back another way and what's currently on the screen will go away. And if you make it even smaller, everything readjusts to keep it in one smooth way, and there's no sideways scrolling. Very well done. And this is coming from someone who doesn't like Twitter that much. So all right. Those seem like nitpicky things, right? It still functions as a website just fine. Daniel, calm down. Get over yourself. No. Because the loading in Goodreads is absolutely bonkers as well. So I have 50 plus notifications. Great. Let's open this up. See how long that load took? That should not take that long. To someone who's been in software development, people who code, who are in my audience, back me up here. This is the day and age of instant. And that 3-second load, or 2-second, however long it was, not gonna fly. There is some condensing of 12 people like this, 50 people like that, 2 people like that, but it's not organized in any kind of way where anything stands out. It just becomes this mesh of text. The names are highlighted fine, but again, let's jump on over to Twitter. If I open the notifications there, things pop right away, because what I haven't seen before, I just vanished right away, was highlighted, and now that I scroll on and off it, it goes away. But it also shows exactly what is being talked about clearly in some text. I see what each thing is referencing. Well, over here, all it's telling me is it just blends. Everything blends. And then there's a follower. It's not good UI. But now let's go to what actually inspired me to make this video. Loading screens are very important. I just clicked friends and I was able to talk that much and had no feedback, none, to let me know anything was loading. When I first used Goodreads and I had a load time that long, I actually thought, oh, something broke. Like, because I didn't get showed anything was loading. I was taught this, I think, within the first week of software development school. Feedback. Let people know when things are loading. Now, you're like, Daniel, it took like 5 seconds. Get over it. By the time you're actively doing something to fix the situation, the load is over. Well, okay then. You guys saw I had quite a few friend requests. Let's go to the bottom here. I get a lot because, my channel is linked to it. And I'm just going to do, first of all, these kind of drop downs, it's not 2004. Not allowed. Sorry, but you need to have some kind of smooth, nice drop down. Also, the fact that I had to scroll this far. Have you not heard of an infinite scroll list where you keep it contained? So it would be like contained in this area, and I scroll just that area, and then below it would be the bulk actions and things like that. No. I need to scroll all the way down to the bottom, which is annoying to do this. But let's go ahead. We select it all, choose a bulk action, approve selected as friends. Now, when I click this, there's going to be a confirmation dialog, right? Or, something along those lines. There has to be. Nope. I have no idea what's happening right now. No load screen, no confirmation. There's no continue. There's no nothing. What's happening? It's a pretty long, awkward silence. What's going on? Oh, Chrome's telling me something's happening. But the website itself isn't. And I'm sorry, but like 40% of people who use the internet don't know to look up at that Chrome tab. Oh, and we're still waiting, by the way. I have not edited this or doctored it at all. And I'm just sitting here waiting for something to happen. And I can tell you, I could go into their code base and in 20 minutes add a load screen to this. It's not a heavy thing out there. There are pre-made load screens you can bring in. I mean, the ones you see all over the place. By the way, we're still loading. Like, I don't know. I'm not a back-end guy. I didn't work in that, I wasn't a back-end developer, but I did touch on it. I mean, everyone does. Oh, okay. I haven't seen this yet. I have not seen Goodreads actually just fucking fail to load entirely, but it did. I have not seen this screen before yet. We are in new territory, people. But it's a bad everything broke screen as well. I've designed everything broke screens. And what you want to do is say, hey, things broke. I like that they have that little diagram here. There's a quote. That's cute. Whatever. I'm not going to take time to read it. But like the big thing is you put a clear button of reload, go home, whatever. They've failed to do that as well. I'm trying to judge this as I'm actively seeing it for the first time and review this for you. Yeah, there's nothing clearly for me to click here. That's not clickable. Most people know that if you click the logo of a website, it takes you to the home screen, but most don't. And when you're designing UI, which again, I'm qualified to review this, I did for years, you typically don't want to rely on that. You want to have a clear reload, go back, but they've failed that too. So I'm going to click that. Oh, that doesn't actually... There is literally no button here to take me out of this. I'm stuck. As a website, they are so... Why? I know junior developers who in their first 6 months wouldn't have made the same errors that I'm seeing here. Christ! All right, I'm gonna click. I'm just gonna go back manually to Goodreads.com, and I don't know if those friend requests process right. I've been given no information, so we're going back to square one, reloading everything. Which, by the way, the website load itself takes far too long. Okay. Most of the friend requests failed and are still there. So that's good. I didn't like somehow lose them, assuming this is accurate and true. Again, I click it. It's going to take way too long to load. Let's try to do the bulk add again. Select all, approve selected as friends. I don't even know what to talk about because this is going to take such a long time that I'm probably going to speed through this in editing. Well, it broke again. Okay. Yep, weren't able to process that. I'm just going to go ahead and speed through this, and you'll see an edited version of how many times it actually takes me to get to the full, like, all the friend requests processed. I will just go ahead and hit the back button. Let's see what happens. Okay, it took me right back there. That's good. Oh, it looks like it processed no more. Let me go ahead and hit refresh and see if it actually did, or if this is poorly cached information. It's poorly Okay, so I'm going to have to explain something a little bit technical about software development. Numbers like that are delivered, of course, from the back end, and it's calculated in some way to have how many friend requests you still have pending. If someone hits the back button and you are displaying inaccurate information, which that just was until I refreshed manually the page, again, you're fundamentally failing as a software designer. You need to have that live updating each time. Your caching here is terrible. I think this last time might do it. Hey! We got them all. Great. Neat. So on the third attempt, it finally got through my friend requests. Good job, Goodreads. You're debatably functional. But let's go ahead and just talk about more of the awful design choices by going to my profile here. So I've done a couple recent updates. Let's see one where there's been some conversation. So right here, I have 4 comments on my Gardens of the Moon review. I have no way to directly reply to people. I don't think adding them works at all. Nope, that doesn't work. They won't get a notification. So even if I wanted to reply to one of my followers who wants to hear my thoughts in a different way or has questions, I cannot address them here on Goodreads, and no, they'll get a notification without even with me adding them, which is, again, something that's been commonplace in software development since, I think, 2012. Maybe even a little bit after that, but I'm not entirely sure. It's so bland. Like, even just from a raw aesthetic standpoint, this looks like a giant Band-Aid. Like, Goodreads is a Band-Aid of a website. Physically, it looks like it, and it acts like it, too. Again, this is not meant to make whoever is running Goodreads feel bad. I think what you're setting out to do is amazing. I want to support it. I will direct more people to use your website, but you need almost a complete overhaul. Everything from aesthetics to functionality. I find it to be, if any other website tried to do what Goodreads is doing right now and had a good backing and even the smallest wave of attention, I feel like they could just bury Goodreads in terms of just everyone realize, oh, this is so much better and easier to use. And I don't want to see that happen because I already have a good following on Goodreads. I think it's a, fine company. I like that they're associated with Amazon because it makes buying things super easy. But my God, it's talk about a poor current execution. I should probably follow Mark Lawrence. Anyway, this has been my rant ramble on why Goodreads is complete and utter trash in terms of its current UI, which, again, I'm just giving you my honest review. Same I would as a book. Don't take it personally, people who are involved with Goodreads. But you have to invest in making your UI 2019, even 2015, up to that standard. Because right now, I feel like I'm on a website from 2008. Anyway, guys, like and subscribe if you have not already. Hit the Patreon if you want to support what I do here. And follow me on Goodreads if you'd like to. And it actually lets me process your friend request. But that's it. Have a good one, y'all. Peace.